Welcome to Edgework, third Wednesday of the year. Zack Bodenstein back with the boys, regular crew, Dave Pagnotta, DB, Dennis Bernstein of the fourth period. This is a rarity. I mean, I might be more well-rested than both of you for the first time ever this year. And, both with the time change and all you two in LA. You guys were at the game last night. We'll talk more about Kings and Lightning after Tampa in action again tonight on the back-to-back in Anaheim. But I want to start, DB and Dave, with that game last night, Colorado and the Rangers. In my opinion, the game of the year so far, but let's get rid of the shootout, right? I mean, it was cute at first. It was fun, but I was at the first ever shootout, actually, fun fact. But, guys, it's enough. DB, I'm done with it.
Well, yeah, but then so what's your solution? Play 10 minutes and accept ties? Americans don't like ties. That's the problem. We're not, there are more soccer fans in the States now. But
I think you play three on three. Yeah. I think you play 3-on-3 for 10 minutes, you'd find a winner. So personally, I'm done with the shootout. Dave?
I'm hit and miss. Like, it depends. If it's exciting, then I'm like, all right, fine. It can stay. Just don't give me playoffs. No. But then when you get the crappy ones that are like, 10 deep on each side, but there's nothing exciting about it other than the fact that you're still going. That's the one where I'm like, all right, let's get rid of this. So honestly, I'm hot and cold.
Pick your spots though. Like last night, both these goalies played tremendously well. They had over 40 saves, and you had McKinnon and Panarin and Zibanejad in the shootout. Zach, that would be the one shootout I'd want to see. But if it was Arizona and I don't know.
Right.
Arizona and Nashville, then yeah, maybe not. So I think that, and I think it's an injury factor as well. So I think 10 minutes of 3-on-3, that might, I'm not sure the player would sign off on that because of the travel and everyone's involved. And, but I get getting rid of the shootout. I would be fine with ties, to be totally honest with you, going back old school, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. But yeah, on some nights it certainly takes the air out of the building after an intense 65 minutes.
Yeah. So yesterday's game, 90 combined shots, like you said, DB. Both goalies.
That was crazy.
Really, really good. And Georgiev fired up after that one. You think he took that a little bit personally? I mean, it's ego, of course, but yeah, that was a big win for them, and that's a good game too. Those are two teams that are top 3 in futures to end the year to win the Cup. Colorado first, and the Rangers third. So definitely a sign of things to come. And the second meeting, I believe, is in December. So that'll be a good one. I want to stick with last night's games too, talk about the Devils. I don't know what to make of them, but I want to take the over in every single game of theirs this year. Nico Heifler's been really good. Mackenzie Blackwood, I still can't get a read on him. Vitek Vanacek, the same. They can score a lot of goals. They'll give up a lot too.
Yeah, and I thought going into the season that Vanacek was going to get a little more of an opportunity between the pipes ahead of Blackwood. Like, I thought he'd get a few more starts early on, especially when Blackwood in the first few games of the season just totally struggled. But I mean, Lindy Ruff and his crew, they got some kind of plan that they're executing here. It just needs to be a little more structured defensively. They've got some good pieces in there. He sure took he didn't start out the year right out of the gate. I think he missed the first game, but still getting everybody kind of getting their legs under them. In New Jersey, it seems that from a defensive side of things, and it's kind of left goaltending a little bit out to dry. So I would like to see Vanacek get a little more of an opportunity here to maybe play a few consistent games in a row, and then see kind of how that unfolds for the Devils. So they gave up, what was it, a second round pick or whatever it was to get him from the Caps. Again, I thought he would get a little bit more time. Maybe give him a little bit of an opportunity here to kind of run with things.
A little more structure. How about some structure? How about any structure? This team has no structure. And you're right, Zach. You don't know what you're going to get from this team. Like, they didn't play good against the Caps the other night at home, and last night they beat a team that hadn't lost in regulation in Detroit. So I don't have them making the playoffs. I just don't think there's enough there defensively. And Blackwood some nights looks good, some nights doesn't look good. And to me, that's 50-50, and that's 81 points, and they're not making it. So it's going to be an interesting season. Jack Hughes has to stay healthy. He's sure I like as a number 2. But again, I don't think there's enough structure. And I think they asked me on SiriusXM to make a prediction of how many coaches would get fired this year, and I said 1. and it's Lindy Ruff. So I think that unless you see a lot more structure in this game, and he's going to get big goaltending from his two guys, I don't think he is. I think he's not going to finish the season as the head coach.
Guys, they've gone under 6 in their games total just twice in 7 games this year. So that's a team I want to go over with for sure.
Yeah.
I thought Mackenzie Blackwood, I like to call him Mac Black. I thought he was going to be the guy like 2 years ago, that 2020 COVID year. He showed so many glimpses. And then last year, the injuries, they all kind of piled up. But I still think he could be something if he kind of stays healthy and gets his rhythm in net. But you're right, Dave. They bring in Vitek with the probably the understanding that he is going to take the number 1, or at least they want him to take the reins. But New Jersey, overs all day. So let's move on to Columbus. This is a guy that's a team, I should say. I think Dave was pretty high on them. He was talking about Laine. We did the show before the year. But no, it's not working right now. They're 0-for on the power play this year, boys. Like, they have not scored a power play goal. Obviously, they've only had, what is it, a game and a third of Laine or something like that. And he's produced, but it's just not working right now. Defensively, the goaltending's been a mess. Dave, Columbus, are you going against them all year this year? Are you taking overs? What's your take on Columbus this year?
I think I'm going over. This is another team I'm going with on the overs for the other reason. At least Jersey put up 6 goals, last night. Columbus gave up 6 against Arizona. Like, who do they think they are? The Leafs? Like, this is a team that, I was totally high on coming in. The addition of Gaudreau, I thought it would have impacted Laine. Granted, yes, he was hurt. But hey, by the way, just wear like a black suit and a white shirt and a tie.
You don't like those pajamas? You don't like those pajamas?
Oh, look, I like them. But you just got shellacked by Arizona. You got to change that up. Take it down a notch. Go back to the basics. Yeah. Maybe that'll affect things. I see him wearing something all crazy again, like he's the Joker in the next game. I'm going against him. So go back to the basics there. But look, seriously, I'm surprised at what we're seeing from Columbus right now. We talked about a team in Jersey with question marks and a lack of structure. I don't know what's going on with the Jackets at this point. It's up and down. One night they look really good. The next night they're giving up 6 to the Coyotes. This is a question, the big head scratcher and a question mark team for me. I thought they'd get out of the gate a lot faster and hotter. Even with the Laine injury, I was like, you know what? There's still enough in the tank there for them to kind of mosey along until he gets back. And it just hasn't happened yet. I might even stay off them for a little while and to see if they can kind of get things going there in Columbus.
I think when they added Johnny Gaudreau, now they think they got to be this up-tempo team that's going to run and gun, like, let's say, Colorado or Florida. Well, they're not. They're not that team. They have to figure out how to use Johnny in a team concept and play better defense. And I don't see it. I didn't like him as a playoff team coming in, Zach. I still don't. Obviously, how could you like it? Off these performances, how could you like him as a playoff team right now? Like, they look like a 75-point team. The goaltenders, they both kind of were hurt. Elvis came back, but I don't like him. I just think that, Johnny might rue the decision of going to Columbus, because I don't see what's going to change, like, structurally on this team. I have concerns. I don't think they're going to change the coach. They like Brett Larson, but it's not working, and I'm not sure it's going to work to this level they think where they made the financial commitment to Johnny.
Sometimes when you make a bunch of changes, and they didn't make, they didn't redo the entire roster, but now that you've got, Gaudreau, you've got Gabranson on the back end, you've got some of your younger kids that you're giving more responsibility to and trying to see if they can solidify a spot consistently in the lineup, like Kent Johnson and some of the other guys. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to adjust. We're 7-8 games in. We're going to creep on 10 soon enough. Once we get to the dozen mark, then it's a pretty solid indicator of how your season's going to go. So, like I said earlier, I may just lay off the Blue Jackets for a little bit and just see how these next couple of games go, and then maybe jump back on that train.
Here's the issue with Columbus, and they were a tough team to play against last season. Like, even when they were eliminated, they were a tough out. They're not a tough out now, and to me, that's a big problem.
Yeah, and it's a tough division, right? Like, I mean, being behind they are, you've got Carolina, the Rangers, Pittsburgh, Washington. Those are 4 teams right there who are probably all making the playoffs from that division. And where does that leave you if you're Columbus? So it's tough, and we'll see. DB, you're right. They haven't been tough to play against. They've been pushovers. So it's been a tough start in Columbus this year. Tonight's games, we'll start with the Battle of New York, Islanders and Rangers. The Rangers actually underdogs in this one, plus 100. I mean, they played last night. It was a good game, but I mean, Halak will be in net. Maybe spirits were a little high yesterday, but both teams always seem to bring the heart in the Battle of New York. I think Dave was just kind of itching to talk about this.
Oh, I can't wait.
Dave, what are your takes on this one?
Yeah, I love when these two teams go up against each other. Sorokin for the Islanders. Look, I would have loved to have seen a Sorokin-Sergachev battle, Sergachev game last night in LA, Tampa. It's still in the brain. Shesterkin and Sorokin to kind of going at it. But yeah, like I said, Halak's gonna get the start tonight. It's always an awesome battle. I love this game. I'm going over in this one. I think it's going to be
really
a little high scoring, even though I'm pumping the tires on Sorokin. I think this is going to be over, but I think I'm going Islanders. I know Rangers back to back. They want to kind of rebound off of that performance, but it was a good performance. Rebound off the loss in OT. But I'm going Islanders in this one. I think they're going to put up a few on the board, and I think that's going to push this game over. I don't think Sorokin's going to get lit up, but I think the Islanders are going to kind of try to send a message here. This is an opportunity for them to do that and rebound, because it's not been a good start for them to start this season. I think this is an opportunity for them that they're going to take. I think they're going to give it to the Rangers on a back-to-back, take advantage of that back-to-back. So I'm going Islanders on this one, and I'm taking the over as well.
Okay, I couldn't disagree more if I tried. I think on this one. The Islanders can't score, and the Islanders were the one team that I said would get into the top 8 this season that were out, and I don't like what I see. They can't score. They're an older team. I think they have like 7 or 8 guys over 30, the age of 30. I just don't like it. Now, with respect to Halak, like he's going to be motivated because what he did against Columbus at the Garden the other day was just it wasn't good. So you can have a motivated Yaroslav Halak in net. I think it's the opposite. I think the Rangers win this game, even though they're back-to-back, and I don't see a lot of goal scoring. If it was 3-2 against Colorado, it's probably 2-1 or 1-0 with the Rangers and Islanders. So I like the Rangers tonight with plus money. I like them. I like the total under 6.
Yeah, I'm to see the other thing too. So they juggled the lines at practice yesterday as well. So that was the other thing too. Now Wallstrom's up there with Barzal. So I think there, and I can't remember if it was Bailey or I can't remember who's on the other wing, but they're now pushing that again. They're getting Parise and Palmieri off of Barzal's line, and they're giving a little bit more speed and a little bit more, I guess, offense so far this season. So I'm liking that. I'm liking that adjustment against the Rangers off the back-to-back, and it's not like it's an away game for them. It's down the street basically, but depending on what time you leave. But I like this. I like this game. I think the Islanders. I know we talked about DB and I actually talked about this last night, and I was originally on that tight game train. I just think it's going to be a bit of a shift, and the Isles need it. So I'm going on them tonight.
So we'll talk about Wallstrom. That's a great point too. And I should also mention Sorokin, 8 goals against in his last 2 games. Obviously it's the NHL in October. Who knows what to do with it? Things will always change, but it's trending DB's way right now. But Dave's way, I should say. But we'll see. So also Artemi Panarin too, right? He's been scoreless he was just scoreless yesterday. That was the first time all year he was scoreless. Dave, are you looking at any props for Artemi Panarin in this one?
Yeah, I would. And look, like I said, I think the Rangers are going to get on the board here. Like I don't think Sorokin's going to total and the decor is going to totally shut them down. But I could see it being like a 5-2, 6-3 kind of game here for the Islanders. I know DB's disagreeing on that one, but I got a weird feeling about that one, so I'm going in that direction. But yeah, I think Panarin gets back on the board here. For the New York Rangers, he might kind of lead things offensively for them. So I may take him with whether it's I don't know what the prop is specifically, but I'm taking him over a point for sure. Tonight against the Isles because I think he contributes. I just think the Islanders are just going to have one of those games that, either is going to get them back on track or is at least going to give the illusion that they're going to get back on track, and then it doesn't work out the next game. I just got a weird feeling tonight about them.
Dennis, you looking at anything for tonight in terms of props?
The prop I would have would be the just over 6. I'm sorry, under 6 for this team. I'm saying -104, under 6. That's the only thing I like. And if I'm going to play them under, I don't think it's going to be a lot of scoring, so I wouldn't play an individual prop on this game.
Okay. We'll move on to Edmonton-St. Louis. So that's the second game of the 3-game slate for tonight. First Oiler game on the road this year, and also just the 5th game that St. Louis is playing in total. Their schedule has been pretty funny if you've ever looked at it. So we'll see what happens tonight. Now, McDavid, pointless in 2 straight. They have I was looking at the props earlier today. Everybody's a 0.5 to get on the board, but McDavid 1.5. He's been scoreless in 2 straight. You got to think that Connor's due for one of those big breakout games, Dave, coming into this one.
Yeah, but this one's weird. Like St. Louis, this is another game that we were talking about last night, trying to get an indication of what direction I think it's going to go in. So I think Connor gets on the board. Now, whether he can put up, 2 or more, I'm not sure on that one. Binnington has been lights out for the St. Louis Blues so far this season. It's it's an under 2 goals against so far. His save percentage has been fantastic. So this is one of those weird games that I don't know what direction it's going to go in. Like, we could have things fall off the rails and the over is gonna hit, or you're going under and it's going to be a tight 3-2, 2-1 kind of game. So I'm not sure in that regard. And I think Connor gets on the board, but whether he puts up 2 or not, I'm not too sure. Like, I might stay away from those kinds of props, and I may go in the direction of, a Ryan O'Reilly goal to get St. Louis on the board and to get them kind of, riled up. And I may go, if you're looking for the from a point side of things, goal side of things, I may go Zach Hyman. So I may go 1-1, Hyman goal prop anytime, and an O'Reilly one on St. Louis, because I don't know. I don't get a good sense or a pulse on how this game is going to go. So I'm going to stay off those, but I'm going to go with the anytimers with O'Reilly and Hyman.
DB?
I know how this game's going to go. 5 days ago, St. Louis won 2-0 in Edmonton. They're going to win again tonight. I like the way they're playing. They're rested. And Zach mentioned they haven't played a lot of games. They're rested. So they've had a lot. And not only the rest, guys, it's the practice. So they can get a lot of special teams penalty kill practice, which will certainly need against Edmonton. They played a great defensive game at Rogers Place 5 days ago. So I like St. Louis on the money line at -105. I think it's going to be another low-scoring affair. I do have one prop bet, one of my best bets. I cashed the last time on Jordan Kyrou, -170 anytime point. Love that player. I think he's going to do it again tonight against Edmonton.
Now, the underplay is actually the value play. It's +110 to go under 6.5. So, DB, you could be making some good money if you do take the under in that one. That 2-0 game, too. And, I mean, Edmonton games other than that have been pretty wild. I think Campbell's looked really good, but it's the defense. I mean, I've watched that defense. They have some serious structure issues. There is not a lot going for them in front of the goalie. It's been tough, so we'll see. And, of course, Buchnevich out again, I think, for St. Louis.
That's a take from 5 years ago, Zach.
It's
structure of defense. Been using it a lot.
Yeah, I've been saying it a lot. So that's the second game, and we'll just move on to the third now. It's a team that both of you saw up close yesterday, Tampa in Anaheim. This is a game where I think I want to go hard on Stamkos. I mean, he's been pointless in 2 straight. He's only been held under 3 shots once. You gotta get the feeling, DB, that he's going to break out in this game.
Yeah, he will. He wasn't a factor last night. To be honest, he had some opportunities in the first period. In the last 40 minutes, the Kings shut him down. I have to go with the sentimental choice, and I agree with you on Stammer. You got to think Corey Perry's going to get a point against his old team. So I got to think he's going to go into Anaheim, get a point, disturbing in front of net on the power play or some fourth line minutes. So I like Corey to get a point anytime tonight in Anaheim. I do like Tampa Bay. I think they're probably pissed off about last night's game, and they're not going to lose back-to-back games in Southern California. So I actually like Tampa Bay -135 on the money line, on the puck line. Yeah,
I'm with DB on this one. I think even though it is a back-to-back, I think they're going to want to rebound after the loss to LA last night. So I'm going with Tampa in this one. And I like the Stammer thing too. I mean, I'm actually going first goal scorer of the game for me, Steven Stamkos. Like I think he's going to get in on that. Like I almost would have gone Kucherov had he not scored last night and gotten that monkey off his back first of the season. But Stammer, I think, is due to do a little bit of damage. So I'm going to go with him, first goal scorer of the game for me in that one against Tampa. And I've got the Bolts in this one as well. Puck line, money line, throw them both out there. I think the Ducks have a shot at winning tonight.
You know, Zach, I mean, we joked about before we come on the air about, it's October. It doesn't really much. Tampa's are going to get going. They got to start winning some games. What are they, 3-4?
Yeah.
It's not like, they're not in jeopardy here, but they got to play better. If I told you out of the box they're 3-4, you'd say probably not. Now, I don't think they're going to win the division either. But this is look, it's not a crucial game for this team, but you got to start winning some games and putting some wins together. There's been a lot of change in Tampa. Remember, no Jan Ruda, no Ryan McDonough. Their right side really isn't a championship right side defense. So it's an important game for them to win, I think, because you don't want to go start 3-5 out of the box. Then people saying, should have kept McDonough, should have kept Ruda. These guys didn't care anymore. Just they played too much hockey over the last 4 years. So I think a game of some import for Tampa, and certainly a team that's rested in Anaheim. But I certainly think they don't match up pound for pound with them.
Yeah. The other thing that the other thing I might jump in on here is to give something a little bit on the Ducks side. With Brian Elliott in net for Tampa, I think the Ducks are going to get a few more looks on this one because I think the D might try to help out a little bit too much, which might lead to some opportunities for the Ducks. So if anything, I think I might jump on the over on the shot total. I think it's 2.5 shot total for Trevor Zegras. So I might jump on the over on that one. I still think the Ducks are going to lose, and Tampa's going to take it. I like the first goal scorer being Steven Stamkos, but I may go the other prop bet as well and see if Zegras is going to try to light a fire for his team. I don't think he's going to do it. Not against Tampa tonight, but I would go the over on the shot total at 2.5 as well.
Over goal totals at 6.5. It's -120 to go over. And you mentioned Elliott. I'll touch on John Gibson in my best bet in a moment, but numbers aren't pretty. So I like the over in this one too between Tampa and Anaheim for sure. And you mentioned Stammer, Dave. He's got 16 points in 15 games against the Ducks in his career. And I mean, the way that Anaheim's giving up chances, giving up goals, and the way Stammer started the year, and I mean, we're not going to, overreact on one game where he was kind of a no-show.
Right.
I like Stammer to show up in this one. So, so that's Anaheim, Tampa. That's our third game of the night, the final game of the night. And we'll get into the best prop bet segment. DB, we'll start with you. I think you touched on yours a little bit already.
Yeah, Jordan Kyrou, -170 anytime point. Just love that player. He cashed for me the last time around, so I'm going to go back with Jordan Kyrou. Again, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I think Jordan Kyrou will score at any time point tonight in St. Louis for the Blues against Edmonton.
And Dave?
I'm still banking on the Islanders tonight and the over in that one. Like I still think I've got something going on there with them for whatever reason. But this battle is always interesting. The fact that the Rangers are on the back-to-back, they did lose to Colorado. They might try to do a little bit too much, but I think with a little line juggling for the Islanders, this is an opportunity for them to send a bit of a message. I think they're going to take it. Hopefully it sticks for them and their fan base, but I'm still taking the over in that game, and I'm going Islanders all the way tonight.
Guys, for my prop, I'm a big value guy. Whether I'm at the grocery store, whether I'm betting on hockey, and I love it. Right, I saw Oliver Wahlstrom was plus money for over 2.5 shots, and like Dave mentioned, I saw he got promoted to the top line. I think Barzzi's going to give him some good looks. I love that bet. I love this bet. The fact that he's plus money to get 3 shots, he's been shooting a lot more lately. I think he has 9 shots in the last 2 games. And the Rangers gave up 44 yesterday. Granted, it was Colorado, but I like that bet. So I'm going to go with Wahlstrom over 2.5 shots for plus money. I think that's good value. And now we'll go into best bet. So DB, we'll go back to you for that.
Rangers +1. The Rangers getting plus money at UBS. Rangers +112 to win tonight.
And Dave?
I'm Tampa W, as I was saying, Tampa W over the Ducks. They're going to want to rebound after losing 4-2 to LA last night. And it's a quick turnaround. You throw that one out of the way. You come back. You play a Ducks opponent that's certainly inferior. I'm going with that's got to be for me the best bet tonight is Tampa over the Anaheim Ducks.
I'm going to go with stick with that game, Dave. Actually, I'm going to take the over, like we were talking about before. John Gibson's goals against per game 4.5515. And Anaheim has also only given up under 34 shots, I think, once all year. And Tampa, of course, we know they like to shoot the puck. You have the Zegras prop, Dave, but I think we're going to see a lot of shot props hit over on Tampa's side. I think they're going to give up a lot of chances. So that's the way I'm going too. And I love John Gibson. I thought, like, talent-wise, I've always thought he was a top 10, but I just think he gets zero help there. So I'm always looking to go against the Ducks, especially in this situation, like you both touched on. I really like Tampa for a number of reasons. Okay, so that's best bets. And I was just wondering if you guys had anything else you wanted to touch on between the three games, anything you guys noticed last night that might translate into tonight when it comes to Tampa, or really anything?
Well, I mean, with Tampa, the LA Kings did a really good job in shutting them down, right? And kind of containing the offense a little bit that was dished out by Tampa. You're playing a totally different Anaheim team that doesn't possess that type of quality in their game right now. And I think that's the opportunity for Tampa to really let loose and put that game last night behind them and come out with a strong W tonight. So that's why I think this is going to be an aggressive game for them. And I think internally they just want to show themselves that they can still dominate when they feel like they need to. And I think that's going to be one of those games for them tonight, based on the fact that they were, for at least 40 minutes anyway, really contained for the most part against LA. So I think this is a bit of a rebound game, I think it'll be an impressive rebound game for them.
Yeah, I think you see how much Anthony Cirelli means to this team. Like, he's injured. He didn't play last night. You could see the defensive side of the puck and the offensive thing. He's got touch, and he's a perfect second line center for this team. And I think that's some of the challenges, or actually third line with Braden Point back. But I think you see he's a vital part of both ends of their game, and I think that's what they miss. So that's what I see with the expected Tampa Bay. But again, it's tough betting. And I agree with Dave on Tampa, but it's so tough to bet on Tampa some nights because they don't care about winning the division. They don't care. They don't want an They don't want an Atlantic Division banner up there. They want another Stanley Cup banner. So I'm not sure. Some nights they're going to be easy to bet against because say, okay, how much meaning is there in a back-to-back or a third game in 5 nights or anything like that? And they are an older team. So to me, missing Cirelli is a big miss for this team, and that's why probably they're struggling. Part of the reason they're struggling out of the gate.
Yeah, Cirelli's been huge for their last few years, and it's not because I played against him in minor hockey. It's because he's genuinely just a good player. I like to think I pushed him a little bit to be better, but
you did, yeah.
That was good. Big motivator right there.
I gave him some good board battles. I won't lie.
There you go.
Okay, so those are the 3 games. That's what we're looking at tonight here on Edgework on the Hammer Betting Network. Zack Bodenstein with the boys from the 4th period. DB, Dave Pagnotta. Check out their stuff. They've got some great things going on the 4th period. And hope you guys enjoy the games tonight and have a great Wednesday.